Hey guys, today we're going to be writing equations of proportional relationships. This is something you've worked with a little bit in the past, but today I'm going to explicitly teach you how to create an equation based on a proportional relationship. So first, to express a proportional relationship using an equation, you must first calculate that constant of proportionality. Remember, constant of proportionality is another word for unit rate. So when you are finding the constant of proportionality, when you're finding an equation, the first thing you do is understand what the constant of proportionality is. That's that constant ratio where you divide y divided by x to determine if the quantities are proportional or not. The equation of a proportional relationship is always in the form y equals k times x, where k is the constant of proportionality. So whatever you multiply x by to get your y, that's your unit rate. That's your constant of proportionality. So let's find our constant of proportionality based on this table. It's always a little bit easier, I think, to find the constant of proportionality or the unit rate based on the table. So if my first ratio is 1/65th, and my second ratio is 2/130th, my third ratio is 3/195th. What do I multiply this by? I do this times something equals this. 1 times what equals 65? 2 times what equals 130? 3 times what equals 195? Your answer for all of that is 65. And you can do that by, assume this is your x value and your y value, you calculate the unit rate by dividing your y divided by your x. So I can divide 65 divided by 1 to get my unit rate, or my constant of proportionality, which is 65. And then I just plug it into the equation. Y equals kx, y equals 65 times x. For this one, so it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more challenging because this one doesn't start off with 1, 2, 3. It goes 3, 6, 9. So you have to pay close attention. 3 times what is equal to $2.25. 6 times what is equal to $4.50. 9 times what is equal to $6.75. Remember, you can use your calculator in ratios and proportions. So I'm just going to divide to get my unit rate. I'm going to divide one of my y values divided by my x value to get my unit rate. So I'm going to do 2.25 divided by 3, and that gives me 0.75. Let's see if this is a proportional relationship if I get 0.75 with all of the rest of them. So if I do 4.50 divided by 6, 0.75. 6.75 divided by 9, 0.75. So my equation for this one, because you divide y divided by x. My equation for this one is y equals 75 cents times x. So x times 75 cents is equal to y for this one. Remember, our equation is y equals kx, where k is that constant of proportionality. It's my abbreviation for constant of proportionality. So this one, again, I'm not starting with 1, 2, 3. I'm starting with 1/2, 3/4, and 1.5. You can go ahead and do that in a decimal. You could put that on a calculator. You can do a complex fraction. So I could do 3 divided by 1/2, which is equal to, I'll try to squeeze it in over here, 3 divided by 3 over 1 divided by 1 over 2. Let's get down here, which is 3 over 1 times 2 over 1, because you keep switch flip, which is 6 over 1, which means that my constant of proportionality here is 6. So my equation for this one is going to be y equals 6x. You just divide the y value divided by the x value. Now, some of you know that 1/2 times 2 is 1. So anytime your x value is 1, your constant of proportionality is whatever is over here on the y value. So to get 1/2 to 1, I would do times 2. 3 times 2 is 6. Either way, you get your constant of proportionality. All right, so let's look at this with word problems, because it's not always going to be set up in a nice little table for you. So 2 pounds of cashews cost $5, 3 pounds cost $7.50, and 8 pounds cost $20. Show the relationship between the number of pounds of cashews and the cost. Show that the relationship between the number of pounds of cashews and the cost is a proportional relationship. Then write an equation that you could use to find the cost of 10 pounds of cashews. So let's do x. Let's make a chart. We'll have our x value and our y. We're going to say the pounds is our x and the money is our y. So let's put into the table what we know. We know that 2 pounds is $5. We know 3 pounds is $7.50. And we know 8 pounds is $20. So this times this, or this times something equals this. This times something equals this. This times something equals this. So let's start with 5 divided by 2. Remember, to find the constant of proportionality, you can just divide one of your y values divided by your x value. So if I do 5 divided by 2, I get 2.5. So let's see, if this were the case, then our equation would look like this. If this works out, it'd be 2.5 times x. Let's just make sure. Let's do 3 times 2.5 and make sure that we get 750. We do. Let's do 8 times 2.5. We get 20. So 2.5 is our constant of proportionality, or our unit rate. And we want to see what it would be to find the cost of 10 pounds of cashews. So if our x value is, remember x is pounds of cashews, is 10, what is our y? To set that up, we would do 2.5 times, and we would substitute our known x value in for the variable. 2.5 times 10 is 25. So if we were buying 10 pounds of cashews, we would expect to pay $25. All right, a cake recipe requires 3 1/4 cup of flour for 13 servings and 4 1/4 cups of flour for 18 servings. Write an equation showing the relationship between the amount of flour needed per serving of cake. Then determine how much flour is required to make a cake that serves 28 people, because apparently we're having a party. So, put a pen here. All right, so let's start by making a table. We're going to say the cups of flour is our x, and we're going to say the servings is our y. So if we have 3, I'm going to scratch that out. All right, so let's set up a table first. We have our x value, and we have our y value. And we need to find the constant of proportionality. So if our x is 3 1/4, our y is 13. If our x is 4 1/2, our y is 18. I'm getting these numbers from the word problem. So we're going to divide 13 divided by 3 1/4. And we talked about how to do complex fractions last time. Let's make this mixed number into an improper fraction. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. So this is actually 13/4. So we have 13 divided by 13/4. 13 as a fraction is 13 over 1 divided by 13 over 4. Oops, over 4. To do complex fractions, To divide fractions, we switch the sign and flip the fraction. 13 over 1 times 4 over 13. Let's see here. 13 times 4 should be 52. Yeah. 13 times 4 is 52. 13 times 1 is 13. So now we just divide 13, 52 divided by 13 to get our constant of proportionality, or our unit rate. That comes out to an even 4. So our unit rate here is 4. Our equation then, and remember unit rate is symbolized with a k. So our equation then is y equals kx. Ooh, that's a bad k. Y equals kx. We put in our unit rate. Now it's asking us to find how many cups we would need if our y value, our servings, is 28. So let's plug that into our equation. 28 equals 4x. To isolate that x variable, we got to divide both sides by 4. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So it would take 7 cups of flour to make a cake that serves 28 people. And our final practice, Jeremy is saving money from a tutoring job. After the first 3 weeks, he saves $135. Assume the situation is proportional. Write an equation relating the amount saved to the number of weeks worked. At this rate, how much will Jeremy save after 8 weeks? So, we are only given one scenario. We're going to say the time is x and the money is y. So we're only given this one scenario, but we're told it's proportional. So we don't need to figure out if it's proportional or not. So 3 weeks in, he's got $135. And we want to know how much he's going to have after 8 weeks. So let's find our constant of proportionality. Y equals kx. And figure out what our y value would be. So let's find the constant of proportionality first. All you do is do 135 divided by 3. And you can do this on your calculator. 135. You always divide your y divided by your x is 45. So our constant of proportionality is 45. So that means y equals 45x. We are given an x value of 8 in our new problem, so we want to know how much money he has after he's worked 8 weeks. 45 times 8 is $360. So 2 months in, 8 weeks in, Jeremy will have saved $360 from his tutoring job. All right, guys, we're going to practice writing equations today, and then later on in the week we'll do a little bit more with proportions. You will have a quiz at the end of the week. All right, have a good day.